Hey, howdy, friends. This is Steve DePoe with the Wells Realty team with this week's Real Estate Vlog for North Texas. Today, we're going to talk about kitchen regrets. So what we're talking about here is remodeling. You've done a remodel on your house and the things to watch out for so you don't regret that remodel, okay? So one of the important things I think before we get into this is to work with a qualified kitchen remodeler. If you're looking for one, let us know. We can help you out there. But working with a qualified kitchen remodeler who can show you examples of the work that they've done and put together a project plan for you, for what this remodel is going to, how long it's going to take, what the stages are, and how much it's going to cost you. Okay, so that's the number one thing to remember. But in terms of the regrets, here we go. Strap in, okay? So following trends rather than prioritizing function. What a lot of people do is they spend big money on following trends, okay? Rather than planning the kitchen remodel or putting things in the kitchen that are functional, that you can really use. I remember 20 years ago or so, maybe more like 15. Rose said, geez, we had this wooden banister that led upstairs in a previous house. And she said, well, wood is out, metal's in. And I remember saying to her, I certainly don't want a house to look junky, okay, or totally out of step or style. I said, but I'm also not in favor of chasing every trend down that comes along, okay? And neither should you. And so, what you should do is follow stuff that's functionally, prioritize the functionality, okay? And if you can fit a trend in there or so, that's great. But that trend shouldn't be such that you can't undo it in 5 years, when that trend is no longer in vogue. Okay, so you don't want to spend a lot of money and a lot of effort and time. You want to go more neutral. You want to go more classic. Okay, would be a better choice for you. And you don't want to really follow these trends, because once they kind of get out of style or get out of vogue, you've paid the money, you're stuck with them, and now what do you do? Okay. Not planning around essential appliances. So let's think about the essential appliances that you use every day. Okay, so maybe you don't use the microwave that much, but you're a big cook and a big stove person. Okay, so you want to plan the stove that you want to stick in there in the right spot. Okay, so it doesn't look like it was force fit. Same thing with refrigerator freezers. Okay, you want to make sure that you have enough room in there between cabinets and counters, so that, yeah, sure, your current refrigerator will fit in there, but if you decided to go with one that's 2 inches wider, you're not hacking at the marble countertop to try to fit it in. Okay, so you want to make sure that you have the current room for your appliances and your essential appliances, plus also room for expansion, you may want to call it. Should you want to get a larger model or a different model in the near future, refrigerator is a good example, because the stove or the oven, you're not going to switch out every 5 years, right? But the refrigerators are now made to be disposable, and when your current refrigerator goes and you want to bring in a new one, you want to be able to stick it in the same spot without a lot of rework this time. And so think about the space that your appliances go into, so that they don't look force fit, or you have to do an adjustment. Putting too much emphasis on the color of an island. Islands are big. Okay, islands are big nowadays because they become the conversation piece when you, not the conversation piece, but the conversation which people gather around when you have people over. Okay, is the island. So islands are big, especially here in North Texas. And so you don't want to spend you don't want to spend hundreds of hours planning the color and the shape and all of that of your island and lose sight of its functionality. Okay. I've shown a lot of homes to a lot of people where they've seen a island, that is just an island that doesn't have any storage space in it, or doesn't have the sink in it so that people can overlook the entertainment area. So you want to keep all these things into consideration. And then finally, underspending for the kitchen floor. Kitchen floor is big. Okay, we know about drips. We know about the kitchen floor and the tile or wood floor flowing into the open concept family room. But you want to spend, you don't want to underspend to get a cheap flooring where everything else looks nice. Hope that helped. Next week, we're going to talk about do-it-yourself staging. This is Steve the Poet with the Rose Realty team. I'm out.